Hey everybody, and welcome into the RNGIDP channel. I'm Craig, and welcome into the channel. I'm happy that you're here. Happy to bring you another baseball game here in the RNL, my randomized 2015 roster set. This is Strat-O-Matic baseball, and what I've done is I've taken the 2015 set. I've randomized all the teams. I used an Excel spreadsheet, randomized everything, and here we are with these rosters, and it's been fun so far. We are in game day 14 out of 30 game days. Each team has 28 games, and we are in the midst of it, almost halfway through, and looking forward to bringing you this one here tonight. It's been a chaotic holiday season, you could say. Christmas, the kids are out of school, and so and my wife, she got a new her shift at her work changed, so it's been hard to get back here, and trying to do my best. Looking forward to bringing you a game tonight, and hopefully I can figure things out now that the kid goes back to school tomorrow. Maybe we can get bedtimes back in order, and I can get back here and do some streaming. So I thank you for your patience, and I look forward to bringing you more of these games, and your continued interest in the channel is always appreciated. Make sure you go to my Twitter page at RNGIDP_strat, and you can find out all the latest on the league there. I post all the stats there. I post all the game day updates as far as who's playing, who's got the probable pitchers, any injuries. All that stuff is over on the Twitter channel at RNGIDP_strat. All right, so we're here tonight. We're looking forward to some baseball. And tonight we have the Texas Diggersby against the Kansas City Kingdras. Texas travels to Kansas City for this AL matchup. Texas sits second in the AL at 8-4, only behind Boston in the standings. And they will travel to Kansas City, who are struggling right now. They are 2-10 and are the worst team in the league by a couple of games, only sitting behind Tampa and Los Angeles by 2 games. So Kansas City looking to turn things around here against a tough Texas team. Texas, in their last game out, lost a close one to Minnesota, who are a pretty decent team, 500 team, but up and down. But they lost that one on the road in Minnesota, and they travel here tonight to Kansas City. And the Kingdras had game day 13 off, and they got their heads together, had a players-only meeting because they have lost 8 straight games. So they looked forward to that game off in game day 13. But here they are again, looking to right the ship, and it will be Matt Shoemaker who they send to the mound to try and do so. Matt Shoemaker, in 2 starts, has only lasted 5 1/3 innings. He's 0-2. That's not a good record. 13 hits given up, 12 earned runs, so 7 strikeouts and 3 walks. I believe, I'd have to look at his ERA, but I believe that equates to an over 20 ERA. So he's having a rough go of it within the ERA department, and he will fix this lineup tonight for Texas. There are no injuries for either side tonight. A couple of the few teams to not be dinged up at this point in the league. And they will face their regular everyday Texas lineup of A.J. Pollock leading off, the right-handed center fielder. He's hitting .296, 7 doubles, 2 triples, a homer, 6 driven in, 10 strikeouts, and 3 stolen bases. Hitting behind him in the 2 spot is Francisco Lindor, the shortstop. He's a switch hitter and hitting .333 on the year, a couple of doubles and a homer for him. Eric Hosmer is the first baseman. The lefty is hitting .265. No home runs for the big Eric Hosmer right now. Only 4 RBIs as well. Derek Dietrich is batting cleanup, the DH. He's the lefty against the righty Matt Shoemaker today. Derek Dietrich is in splitting duty at DH. They've got a couple of options for the designated hitter, Matt Holliday being one of them. And so Dietrich gets the call today. He's 5 for 22. He does have a homer and 3 RBIs. Hitting behind him will be the switch hitter Ben Zobrist. He's playing third base today. And Ben Zobrist is hitting a clean 400 on the season with 6 doubles, a triple, a homer, 4 RBIs. So Zobrist will look to stay hot and look to improve on that average. Hitting behind him will be the left-handed catcher Miguel Montero in the 6th spot. Montero is 8 for 40. That's a 200 average. Only base hit is a double for him. Hitting in the 7th spot will be Jake Marisnick, the left fielder. Jake Marisnick is hitting .316, so not bad. He does have 10 driven in as well, which is tied for the team lead. Kevin Kiermaier is the left-handed right fielder, hitting 8th. He's hitting .386, so the bottom of the order has been hitting pretty well for these Texas Diggersby. Kiermaier is 17 for 44, a couple of doubles, a couple of triples, 3 homers, and 14 RBI. Oh, so I missed him, so Kiermaier leads the team with 14 RBI. Addison Russell is one of the ones I thought was leading the team at 10. He has 10 driven in from the 9 spot. And Addison Russell's hitting .268. He's only got 1 homer, but like I said, those 10 RBIs. So that will be the lineup to face Matt Shoemaker. And looking forward to bringing you this one. If you like what we're doing here, make sure you leave a like, a comment, a tweet, any of that, just so I know you're here and that you appreciate and watching, and I'm thankful that you are doing so. And so here we go. Matt Shoemaker will pitch to A.J. Pollock to lead the game off. Let me get my dice here. And the last game, I had mentioned that my pen had run out of ink, and that's why we're using black. Well, I ordered, I think it was 15 cartridges of purple from my friends, and they're not paying me to say this. They're my friends at Colorado Pen Company, and so they got that to me within, I think it was 1 day. I ordered it 1 day, and it came the next. That's amazing. So thank you to them for being so quick and prompt about it. So quick that my black hasn't even ran out. So we'll continue with black until it runs out, and then we'll switch to purple again. So Matt Shoemaker's warm-up pitches are all ready to be done, and he will lead off to A.J. Pollock here. And A.J. Pollock flies this one high out to center field, and that is where Kike Hernandez is at, and he makes the snag, and 1 retired. Shoemaker now pitches to Francisco Lindor. The switch hitter is batting from the left-hand side, and no matter this time, Shoemaker strikes him out. So that's the first strikeout for Shoemaker. And 2 quickly down here as Shoemaker's just getting started here in the top of the first. The big lefty Eric Hosmer now. He hits this one pretty hard, but too high, just gets under it out to left field. And that's where the left fielder Delino DeShields is. And he makes the catch, and that will end the top of the first. So we go to the bottom half. Just getting started here in Kansas City. The Kansas City Kingdras keep Texas off the board. It's 0-0. So Scott Feldman will come to the mound for Texas. Scott Feldman has struggled in a couple of starts. He's gone 1-1 in 11 innings, given up 12 hits and 7 earned runs. He does have 11 strikeouts, but 11 walks. So he's looking to improve those numbers, and he will face the lineup for Kansas City, looking to get these bats going. Kansas City as a team is hitting .195. Yeah, they've only hit 6 home runs as a team, and this is the 13th game for them. Elvis Andrus is the shortstop, and he will be hitting right-handed and batting leadoff today. Elvis Andrus is hitting .196, so just above the team average. Only 1 extra base hit, and that's a double. Martin Prado is the second baseman. Martin Prado will be in the 2 spot, and he is batting on the season .212. He's got a homer and 3 RBIs, but 9 strikeouts. Adrian Gonzalez is the first baseman, the lefty, hitting in the 3 spot. He's hitting .273, so not bad for this team. That's second on the squad. That's 12 for 44, 3 doubles, a couple of homers, and 4 RBI. Adrian Beltre is batting cleanup. The third baseman, the righty, is hitting 3 for 31. He's been injured, I believe, on the season a few times. 3 for 31, no homers, no triples, no home runs, no doubles. So no extra base hits in those 3 hits for Beltre. Carlos Santana is the DH. He is hitting 179. He does have a triple, a double, and a homer, but not much else going for him. Caleb Joseph is the catcher today. He's 3 for 19 with a double. Are you catching the drift that they're struggling at the plate? Number 7 will be Enrique Hernandez in center field. We saw him make the play in the top half. Enrique Hernandez is hitting .310, which leads the team. He's 13 for 42. He's got 5 doubles, which also leads the team, and 2 homers, which is tied for the lead with Adrian Gonzalez. Yes, 2 home runs leads the team. Kike Hernandez also leads in RBIs with 8. Behind him will be Delino DeShields in left. The speedy right-hander is hitting 2 for 15 on the season so far. And in the 9 spot will be J.B. Shuck, the right fielder. The lefty, J.B. Shuck, is hitting .207. All right, warm-ups for Texas and Kansas City are just about done. And Elvis Andrus will step in against Scott Feldman. All right, here we go. Scott Feldman to pitch to Elvis Andrus. And this is a 2-6. So this one is hit sky high out to center field, and that is A.J. Pollock with the good wheels. Glides over to make an easy catch. And Elvis Andrus is the first down here in the bottom of the first. Martin Prado now. The righty, the veteran righty, bounces one over to third. That's where Zobrist is. Grabs it off a hop and wings it over to first. And there's 2 down. And it'll be up to Adrian Gonzalez to extend the inning against the righty, Scott Feldman. He deals to the lefty, and Gonzalez gets under this one, out to left field. Marisnik doesn't even have to move and makes the grab. So we are through one clean here. Scoreless going to the top of the second. Texas and Kansas City all tied up at nothing. These pitchers, we mentioned how they'd been struggling, but here they are with a clean first inning. So Shoemaker will pitch to the 4, 5, 6 batters of Dietrich, Zobrist, and Montero. And Dietrich takes a pitch looking, and that's called for a strikeout. So 2 down, or 2 strikeouts, I should say, for Matt Shoemaker so far. Dietrich goes down looking, and now the switch-hitting Ben Zobrist steps in from the left-hand side, and this is out to center, and it will be a extra chance for Kike Hernandez. Enrique Hernandez is a 3-ranged center fielder, a 3-13, and he's going to make the nice sliding grab. Kike Hernandez takes a hit away from Ben Zobrist, and there's 2 down. Miguel Montero now, the left-handed catcher, steps in. 2 down, nobody on, and Miguel Montero swings and a miss. And that's the 3rd strikeout for Shoemaker and the 3rd out of the inning. And we move to the bottom of the second. Texas and that vaunted offense have gone 2 innings scoreless against this struggling Kansas City squad. And Scott Feldman now. Scott Feldman will pitch to the veteran Adrian Beltre. And the big righty flies it out to right field. Kevin Kiermaier is on his horse at the track, makes the catch, and there is 1 out. Beltre gave it a ride, but was never really threatening. Kiermaier has got some good wheels and is a excellent plus defender out there in right. He makes the grab. So here is Carlos Santana, the switch hitter. steps in from the left-hand side, bounces one over to first base. That's where Hosmer is. He snags it on a couple of hops and throws it over to Feldman, who's covering the bag. And that will be 2 down now. And Caleb Joseph will be the man at bat. Nobody on. 2 outs. And the catcher, Caleb Joseph, bounces one over to third. Zobrist charges on it, picks it, and fires it to first. And that is the 3rd out here. And Scott Feldman clean through 2. And we move to the top of the 3rd. This game moving quickly. These pitchers are dropping their ERA really quickly here with 2 scoreless innings on both sides. And Shoemaker will face 7, 8, 9 here in the top of the 3rd. Marisnik, Kiermaier, and Russell. As I mentioned before the game, Marisnik, Kiermaier, and Russell are doing a lot of the damage for Texas so far. The bottom of the order has some of the highest averages on the squad, and it will continue here. This one's hit pretty well. Will it be enough to get up and out? No, it is bounces towards the wall, off the wall, and Marisnik will coast into second with a double. That one looked like it had some legs to get out of here, but it died out in the outfield, bounced against the wall, and Marisnik safely at second with a leadoff double. So Kevin Kiermaier, who leads the squad in average, is to bat here. And Kevin Kiermaier, Matt Shoemaker, they must have told him about him being hot right now because he nibbles around and ends up losing him. Kiermaier draws a walk. So nobody out here. 2 men on for Addison Russell. Addison Russell, would they bunt here? No, they're not going to bunt. The infield's going to stay back, trying to get that double play. And here is the pitch. This one is a ballpark single chance. It's a 1-12 that it'll be a single, and it's going to be a single. Addison Russell punches one through the infield. The runners aren't going to be able to go more than 1 base. They had to wait to see if that would get through. It did. And now the bases are loaded with nobody out. And A.J. Pollock, the speedster, up to bat. Al, Red Sox fan, checking in. Happy New Year to you. Thank you for checking out the stream. Happy you're here. He's going to listen while he goes and does other stuff. Probably going to bed here. It's after midnight out on the East Coast. Here we are with Matt Shoemaker pitching to A.J. Pollock here in the top of the 3rd. A.J. Pollock has a chance to break this thing open. Nobody out. The infield is going to come in to cut off a run at home against the speedy A.J. Pollock. Probably wouldn't be able to double him off anyway. So they're going to be coming in. This one is on the batter's card. It's a 2-6. A.J. Pollock hits this one to the gap. That one is a double. And it rolls around. A.J. Pollock safely at second. Marisnik will score. Kiermaier comes around to score. Russell has to stay at third. But Texas breaks open the game with a 2 RBI double for A.J. Pollock. And Matt Shoemaker, who was cruising, has run into trouble, giving up 3 hits here in the 3rd and an RBI double for A.J. Pollock. And the trouble's not over yet because now they get to the meat of the order. And there's still nobody out. So Lindor is up with men on 2nd and 3rd. And Hosmer behind him. So are they going to bring the infield in again? No, they're going to give up a run to try and just get the out. They've already given up a couple runs, so they're going to pitch to Lindor here from the left-hand side. And Lindor hits it hard, but right at the first baseman. So lucky to Adrian Gonzalez was positioned there. He's able to make the catch, and that will be the first out of the inning. So that's just what Shoemaker needed, was a quick out. Nobody can advance, And now Eric Hosmer, the lefty, who has not hit a home run yet this season, steps in against the righty Shoemaker, and Shoemaker wisely pitches around him, and he gives up a walk. So the old unintentional intentional walk for Hosmer. And now it will be up to Derek Dietrich with 1 out. The infield is playing double play depth. They're looking to try and get out of this thing. Dietrich swings at it, and he, on the next pitch, he draws a walk. So Derek Dietrich with a bases loaded walk, and Shoemaker is his own worst enemy here. And Addison Russell trots home from third. Everybody moves up a base, and Derek Dietrich gets the RBI the easy way with a bases loaded walk. And it's now 3-0. And I was just bragging on Shoemaker before this inning about how he was dropping his ERA. Well, that's not the case anymore. And Ben Zobrist now will be the man to bat. He steps in from the left-hand side. That's a ballpark single chance, a 1-12, and that one will sneak through. It will, and another run will score. So Zobrist keeps the train moving. Pollock scores from third. And it's now 4-0. Hosmer moves to third base. Dietrich moves to second. And the bases are still loaded. It's 4-0 for Texas. And now we're going to have to look at the bullpen. Shoemaker not getting very far in this one. Let me look at the stats and see. For Kansas City, Aaron Brooks is a long reliever. Let's see. We could go get him. We could get David Phelps as well. Or we could go get Mike Leake. Mike Leake has been used quite a bit, though. He's pitched 9 2/3 innings. So I believe we'll get Phelps up and running. And just see if we can't work out of this jam. So Miguel Montero, Shoemaker is going to pitch to the lefty here while Phelps is warming up. But Shoemaker is on the ropes. Bases loaded, 1 out, 4 runs already in here in the top of the third. Shoemaker pitches to Montero. This is a center field X chance. And that is Kike Hernandez. And we already looked. He's a 3-range center fielder. The 318 is going to be a fly ball C. So Kike has to run in and makes a nice running catch. And nobody's going to be able to advance. So that is a good sign for Shoemaker, as he gets second out on a short fly ball. Higher Ground Gaming checking in. Welcome. He says, Happy New Year. Just stopping to say hi, heading off to bed. Well, thanks for checking in there, Higher Ground. Appreciate you coming back to the stream. I know it's been a couple of weeks since I've been able to do it, but I'm happy that I'm able to do it now, and I'm happy to see some old faces around here. Out Red Sox and Higher Ground. Thank you guys for being here. So there's 2 outs now. Bases are still loaded. Jake Marisnik, who doubled to lead off this inning, and now he's back up again. And this is a 1-2, and he hits this one over to the shortstop. That's where Elvis Andrews is. Andrews makes a nice play to get the speedy Marisnik over at first. That was his only play, but he makes it. And Andrews ends the inning with a 6-3 putout. But not before Texas continuing to do their Texas things. That's why they're in second in the Alola League. They have scored 4 runs now, and Scott Feldman, who has faced the minimum so far through 2, comes back out in the bottom of the third. He will face Kike Hernandez, Delino DeShields, and J.B. Shuck. So Enrique Hernandez will hit this one over to the shortstop, Lindor. Lindor shows off the nice cannon for an arm, throwing it across the diamond, and gets the first out. Delino DeShields, the speedy Delino DeShields, he gets a hold of this one. Will he get a random home run? No, he won't. That'll be a triple. Hit it into the gap, and the speed of Delino DeShields showing up as he greets Scott Feldman with his first hit given up, and it's a triple for Delino DeShields. So J.B. Shuck, the ninth guy in the batting order, looking to bring home the run at third. J.B. Shuck, the right fielder. He's a lefty, and this will do it. This is hit out into the gap, but that's going to be cut off before it gets to the wall. That was a 19 that I rolled. I missed it up, though. But it's a RBI single, and J.B. Shuck gets a run back for Kansas City. The ninth man in the order driving home Delino DeShields, and it is a 4-1 ball game. Excuse me. So J.B. Shuck is at first. And I didn't give somebody an RBI here, did I? Zobrist got one. Okay. For stat keeping purposes, I needed to make sure that was right. Okay, so J.B. Shuck has an RBI single, batting in Delino DeShields, and now Elvis Andrus with Shuck on first base. Andrus, the righty, and this is a ground ball. Will it get through the infield? It does, and that's a ballpark single. So now 3 hits in a row given up by Scott Feldman after he was just gifted the lead. And now, men on first and second, and the tying run, Prado, comes up to the plate. Martin Prado, 1 out here, looking to drive something, and he swings and a miss. That's a strikeout. He was trying a little too hard to get that one out of here and swung right through a fastball. And now there's 2 down. That's the first strikeout for Scott Feldman. And it'll be up to the wily veteran Adrian Gonzalez. 2 on here. Bottom of the third. And this one's hit to the first base side. Will it sneak past Eric Hosmer? Eric Hosmer is a good fielder. He's a first base 1. A 1.9. That's going to go to his error rating, which is an E4. An E4 with a 5. Hosmer makes a nice diving grab down the first baseline, comes to a knee, fires it over to Feldman, who was charging quickly over to first base, and Hosmer saves probably a run at least, maybe 2. Diving stop out down the first base foul line. So the third inning ends. Kansas City grabs a run back, but it's a 4-1 ball game. Texas going into the top of the fourth. Matt Shoemaker would have come back out, but they are going to go to the bullpen, and they will bring in David Phelps. So Shoemaker, his day is cut short, and Shoemaker only able to make it through 3 innings, gave up 4 hits, 4 runs, all of them earned. He struck out 3, and he walked 3 as well. So his day is over, and we go to the bullpen and get the long man David Phelps, who takes over here for the Kansas City Kingdras. He will face Kiermaier, Russell, and Pollock. So the call to the bullpen And Kiermaier steps in against the new pitcher, David Phelps. Phelps, I had mentioned before, has pitched in... Oh, I just dropped a die. Phelps has pitched in 2 1/3 innings. He's got an 0-1 record. He's given up 2 hits, 2 earned runs. He's struck out 3 and hasn't walked anybody. And here he is against the lefty, Kiermaier. And Kiermaier pokes one. Will it find its way through the infield? Yes, it will. That's a seeing eye single to lead off the top of the 4th. And Kiermaier's aboard for Addison Russell. Kiermaier is a B stealer, so while we're here, let's look at Caleb Joseph. He's a -1 arm, so that would be a 1 to 9 chance to steal. Addison Russell he singled and scored back in the 3rd, and here he is with Kiermaier on base, and he hits one hard, but right to the 3rd baseman Beltre, and that will be the first out of the inning. So Kiermaier able to make it back to 1st on a hot shot down to 3rd. And now A.J. Pollock will take his chance against the new pitcher. And A.J. Pollock, staying patient, and draws a walk. So he's on board for the 2nd time today. He doubled his last time up. And that pushes Kiermaier over to 2nd. So there's 2 on for the switch hitter, Francisco Lindor. David Phelps, the new pitcher, pitching to him, and he hits this one over to 2nd base. Second baseman is Prado. Prado has a problem with the handle, and his only play is going to be able to get the out at 1st. But everybody's going to move up a bag. So that'll be the 2nd out. Prado, it's not going to go as an error, but it moves the runners over to 3rd and to 2nd. Probably should have had the double play there. But now instead there's 2 outs and the lefty Eric Hosmer with a pair in scoring position. And David Phelps pitches to the lefty, and that's a fly ball out to center field. Kike Hernandez camping under it, and that will be the 3rd out of the inning. David Phelps gives up a couple of base runners, but nobody scores. And Texas with a 0 on the board in the top of the 4th. Scott Feldman struggled his last inning, gave up 3 hits, but was able to wiggle out of it with only giving a run. And here he is in the bottom of the 4th against righty Adrian Beltre. This is hit to the shortstop. That's Lindor. I'm pretty sure he's a 1-range shortstop. He is. It's a 1-9, which is going to be in his E rating. And we rolled a 4. Lindor is a 17. We rolled a 4, and Lindor boots it. Kicks it out to left field. And Beltre is going to be on board on an E6. So the normally sure-handed Lindor boots it, and Kansas City has a base runner for Carlos Santana. Santana, the switch hitting lefty, will hit one over to 2nd base, which is Addison Russell territory. Let's see, Russell is a 2-range second baseman. So let's look at his chart. A 210 is going to be his E rating. He's an E18. We roll a 6. And Addison Russell makes a dive for it, but it bounces off the edge of his glove and out into center field. So Beltre, who was off with the pitch, moves over to 2nd, and Santana is aboard on an E4. So back-to-back errors for Texas. And now there's 2 aboard. Both of them off of errors from either side of the infield. The middle infielders, normally pretty sure-handed, Russell and Lindor. Both giving up errors here. Will Kansas City be able to make them pay? This is a 3-7. And this one is bounced over to shortstop. Lindor is going to have another try at it, and he picks it cleanly, tosses it to Russell. And Russell makes a nice strong throw for the double play. So, wouldn't you know it, they make up for their mistakes. Beltre is able to squeeze by and go to third, but the double play from the two that just gave up 2 errors there. And now they're 2 down. So Kike Hernandez with a man at third. That's Adrian Beltre. And this is a 5-7. That one is going to be hit up the middle, out to center field. And Enrique Hernandez with an RBI single. Beltre trots home. And Kansas City scores a run there, an unearned run, but an RBI for Hernandez. And now it's a 4-2 ball game. So the errors did come back to hurt him. And now it's Delino DeShields looking to keep this thing rolling. And he is hit by the pitch. And that one hit him right in the ribs. And he looks like he's injured. Let's see. Let's roll it. It's a 12. And he's going to be out for 3 games. So DeShields takes that one right on the ribs. And we're going to have to replace him. That is remainder plus 3 games. So he's on base. Well, he would have been on base. And now we got to find a new left fielder. We could get DeJesus or Preston Tucker. I think we're going to get Preston Tucker. And he will take the place of DeShields. So DeShields, who tripled his last time up, hit by a pitch here and is on base with Kike Hernandez. Well, Preston Tucker will take his place on base, and Kike Hernandez will move to second. And let's mark down the lefty. Preston Tucker takes over. And will take over in left field as well. All right, so the delay is over. DeShields able to walk off with the trainer. And now J.B. Shuck with a couple of men on here. 2 down here in the bottom of the 4th. And J.B. Shuck, who had an RBI single his last time, bounces one over to second. This is a routine play, you would think, for Addison Russell, and he's able to make it this time. A 4-3 putout. So the infield giveth and it taketh away. And we end the 4th here. It's a 4-2 ball game. So Delino DeShields had to come out of the ball game. And David Phelps will continue. And here he will face the 4, 5, 6 batters of Dietrich, Zobrist, and Montero. Dietrich, a walk and a strikeout so far today. And this one is bounced over to the shortstop. And that is Elvis Andrus. He's a 2-range shortstop. A 2-4 is going to be a good play. So he goes in the hole and makes a jumping throw to get Derek Dietrich. And there's one out. Ben Zobrist now. Zobrist is 1 for 2. He's got an RBI on the day as well. And he hits this one over to first. And Gonzalez takes it on a couple of bounces and is able to make it over to first on his own. And that will be 2 outs. Excuse me. So David Phelps with 2 quick outs here in the top of the 5th. And he will face Miguel Montero, who gets a hold of this one. Will it be enough to get out? A 1-5, it gets out, and it does. That was a 5. Miguel Montero sneaks one out to to right field, and that's a homer, 2-out homer for Miguel Montero. I just had mentioned how Phelps had kind of found a groove, but Montero hits one back the other way and up out of here. A solo shot, and now it'll be up to Marisnick, and it's a strikeout. So Marisnick strikes out, but the damage was done. A solo shot here in the bottom or the top of the fifth, and David Phelps gives up a run. It is now a 5-2 ball game. Oh, they didn't score 5 runs there. They scored one. Hold on. Let me get my white out. The manual score operator put the wrong number up there. Okay. So they scored a run in the 5th. And we move here to the bottom of the 5th. Are you at the bottom of your 5th? Well, go get a new one. Scott Feldman now looking to get through the 5th here, and he will face the top of the order, Elvis Andrus, who's got a hit off of him today. He's 1 for 2. And he pops this one up behind the backstop. That's a foul ball. And no, the catcher, Montero, able to make the catch. I thought that was going over the screen. But no, that is a foul out. Montero with a nice play. And Martin Prado now with 1 out. Prado is struck out. He's 0 for 2 today. And Prado, the righty, he hits this one. Will it get to the gap? It will. That one's going rolling. And Prado, if he was a little faster, might be able to get to third. But he's going to pull up at second. The veteran with a double here. A 1-out double. And now Adrian Gonzalez with a man in scoring position against Feldman. And this is a 5-3. This one's hit out to left field. The left fielder is Jake Marisnick. He is a good fielder. He's a left field 1 range. A 1-6 is going to be a fly ball B. And so Martin Prado is going to have to stay put. And that will be the 2nd out. So it'll be up to Adrian Beltre to drive in the run. Feldman looking to get out of the 5th inning. He gave up a double to Prado. 2 down now. Beltre reached on an error his last time and scored. And this time he will pop this one up out on the third base side. And that is where Zobrist is. He tracks it and makes the grab out in the foul ground. And it will be the 3rd out. So Prado doubles, but nobody can bring him home. And we continue. It's a 5-2 ball game going to the 6th here. David Phelps will continue, and he will face Kiermaier, Russell, and Pollock. It feels like Kiermaier has been up 5 times already, but he's 1 for 1. He's walked and has a single. And here he is against David Phelps, and he pops this one up just in the same spot Beltre did. The same result, but this time Beltre catches it himself, and there is 1 out now. Addison Russell, he singled, scored a run, and he hit one hard to the third baseman. Took a hit away from him, Beltre did. And this one is hit over to the first base side, and it sneaks past the first baseman Gonzalez right under his glove, out into right field, and that will be a single. So as I mentioned before, the bottom of the order for Texas, they do a lot of the work, and they have been on base quite a bit. And Addison Russell on base again, and this will be A.J. Pollock, and this is a 1-8. And a 1-8 is going to be a single out to center field. Russell saw it the whole way, but he's only going to be able to make it to second. And now there's 2 on for Lindor. Texas threatening again here in the top of the 6th. Lindor from the left-hand side bounces one over to the shortstop. Andrews able to pick it and make the toss over to Prado. Prado finishes it off for a 6-4-3 double play, which will end the inning. So Phelps got into a little trouble, but the double play bails him out and keeps him off the board here in the 6th. So we go to the bottom half, and it's a 5-2 ball game. So Kansas City hanging in there with Texas. You got to wonder how many more opportunities they'll get. Kansas City has struggled at the plate. As I mentioned, they're hitting below 200 as a team. They've only scored 29 runs coming into this game, which is by far the very worst in the AL. They've given up 61. That's good for a minus 32 run differential. Texas, on the other hand, have scored 65 runs and only given up 33. That's for a positive 32 run differential. So that's pretty interesting. Texas at plus 32, Kansas City at minus 32. But here they are facing one another, and it's only a 3-run game. And Santana will lead off the bottom of the 6th. And he hits this one. Will it get up and out of here? It doesn't. It bounces off the wall. Santana, he makes his way and with a stand-up double to lead off the bottom of the 6th. So Santana's aboard. For the catcher, Caleb Joseph. This is the pitcher inning of weakness for Scott Feldman here in the 6th. Caleb Joseph bounces one over to short. That's Francisco Lindor on a hop. Makes the strong throw and looks Santana back to first while doing it. And there's one out. So Joseph is 0 for 3 on the day. And all 3 times has bounced out to the left-hand side. So here's Enrique Hernandez. He's got an RBI on the game. It was a single his last time up. And he hits one to first. And that is where Hosmer is. And Hosmer able to make the play over at first, tossing it back to Feldman. And there's 2 down. On the play, Santana is able to move to third. I just had to check the chart real quick. I couldn't remember. It's been a couple days. So Santana moves over to third. And Hernandez is the out at first. So Preston Tucker with his first at-bat of the game coming in for an injured Delino DeShields, who was hit by a pitch. Looks like he'll be out for a couple of games. So Preston Tucker back in the lineup. He has started a few games this season, and he draws a walk. So a 2-out walk. And now there's runners at the corners for J.B. Shuck, the right fielder. Shuck is 1 for 2. He's got an RBI. It was an RBI single back in the 3rd. And looking to bring the Kansas City a little bit closer here. And he will do it. This one's a single up through the left-hand side. No stars, but that will bring home Santana. And Tucker will stay at second. But that brings home a run, and J.B. Shuck has his second RBI of the day. And it's a 5-3 ball game. The double by Santana moved over to third on a ground out, and now J.B. Shuck brings him home. So Feldman, he has given up 3 walks or hits in this inning. So he is a weak pitcher at this point. And here he is to face Elvis Andrews. And this is a 4-8. And he walks Andrews. So Andrews moves over to, or walks down to first. Tucker moves to third. And Shuck moves to second. So the bases are loaded with 2 outs. Feldman laboring here to get through the 6th. Martin Prado, who doubled off of Feldman his last time up, And let's take a look at the bullpen for Texas. If that's right, Texas, I'm looking at their bullpen now, their bullpen is not their strongest suit. And if there's one Achilles heel for this Texas team, that's where it is. The middle relievers of Robles, Contos, DeFratis, and Yimi Garcia have all struggled at some point. Garcia has been their best one. The closer, Justin Grimm, has been okay. They do have some long relievers. Travis Wood has come in situationally because he's the only lefty in the bullpen. And Ballslinger and O'Sullivan are the other options. So Feldman is a weak pitcher at this point. They're looking to piece it together. They're going to let him pitch to Prado. But Travis Wood? Yeah, Travis Wood is warming in the bullpen should it get to Gonzalez here. So, bases loaded, 2 outs. Martin Prado at the plate to face Scott Feldman. It's a 6-6, and Prado hits one over to short. Lindor makes the dive. His only play is going to be at first, and he gets Prado by a step. And that will be the 3rd out. So Lindor making a fine play to save some runs, and that will end the 6th inning. So Kansas City gets one back. It's a 5-3 ball game. As this one tightens up here in what looked to be a lopsided matchup. And when Texas took a 4-0 lead in the 3rd, I thought it was heading that way, but not so. Kansas City has scratched and clawed 3 runs, and the bullpen of David Phelps has held serve, only giving up 1 run. And David Phelps here in the 7th will continue. He'll face Hosmer, Dietrich, and Zobrist. And Eric Hosmer hits one right back past David Phelps and leads off the top of the 7th with a single. So after giving up a run in the bottom half, Texas looking to get one back, and it is Derek Dietrich who hits one over to first, and the first baseman Gonzalez had to make a dive, and his only play is going to be to throw it over to Phelps, who's covering first, and the runner Hosmer is able to advance to second. So a man on second with 1 out. I guess that works as a sacrifice. Kind of, huh? Zobrist now, the switch hitter. And he hits one to second. The second baseman, Prado, knocked it down. He had to make a jump for it, knocked it down, and is able to pick it up and throw it over to first for the 2nd out. But Hosmer able to advance again, taking the bases where he can, and now he's at 3rd with 2 outs. And it will be Miguel Montero, who homered off of Phelps his last time up. The only knock that Phelps has got on his belt so far. And here he will face Montero again. And oh no, Miguel Montero may have has again a 1-9, and it's out. It is not. It's a double. That's going to be enough to score Hosmer. And Miguel Montero gets Phelps again, this time for a double. And he drives home another run. And Kansas City look a little dejected because every time they score a run, it seems like Texas scores one right back. David Phelps can't close out the 7th here. And there's 2 down with a man on second and Jake Marisnik now. And Marisnik hits this one. Marisnik hits this one out to center. It's a single 2-star, but that's going to be enough to score Montero from second. And Phelps, you could tell, is running out of gas, giving up back-to-back hits here. Marisnik with an RBI single. And that will be it for Phelps. They're going to have to make a call to the bullpen And it will be Ryan Madsen to come out of the bullpen. So back-to-back hits was enough to sink David Phelps in the top of the 7th. He did some good work, but fell apart at the end there. And Ryan Madsen will have to come in to try and clean up the mess. So Phelps went 3 2/3 innings. He gave up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 hits. He's given up 3 runs so far. How many did he strike out? He struck out 1. And did he walk anybody? He walked 1. Only walked 1. So the book is not closed for him yet. And Ryan Madsen makes his way out. And he will face the lefty, Kevin Kiermaier. And this is a 4-9. That's hit over to the shortstop. Shortstop is Elvis Andrews. He's a shortstop 2. 211 is going to go to his E rating. An E7. Excuse me, an E23, and we rolled a 7. And Andrews make the diving stop and throw it to get the speedy Kiermaier. And that will end the inning. So Madsen, 1 pitch, and gets out of the inning off a nice play from Elvis Andrews. But that will end the 7th. They gave up 2 runs, so it is a 7-3 ball game now. Moving here into the bottom of the 7th. And Scott Feldman would face Gonzalez, Beltre, and Santana. And it looks like they're going to make a call to the bullpen. It will be, as I mentioned, the lefty, Travis Wood. So Wood will come on to face the lefty Gonzalez. And then Beltre and Santana, we'll see. They've got to pick their spots with the lefty, because they only have one of them available in the bullpen. And here he is, Travis Wood. So Feldman goes 6. He gives up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 hits. 3 runs. Only 2 of them earned. He strikes out only 1 batter. And he walked 2. So Travis Wood will take over. The book is closed on David Phelps as well. Let's tally him up. He gave up 3 runs. All of them earned. Okay. So Travis Wood, let's look his numbers up quickly. In 4 innings, Travis Wood doesn't have a record. He's given up 3 hits, no runs, 5 strikeouts, and 2 walks. So he will face the first baseman, Adrian Gonzalez. And this is a 6-11. A 6-11, that's a fly ball out to left field. Or excuse me, out to right field. And Kiermaier will make the grab. So 1 down here. Travis Wood will continue to face Beltre and perhaps Santana. And this is a 6-4. 6-4 is hit out to center field. That's A.J. Pollock territory. Pollock with the big-time speed is a center field 1. A 117 is going to be a clean play. Pollock. No, wait. Yep. Getting mixed up here. So Beltre hits it out to Pollock. Pollock doesn't even have to break a sweat out there in center field to make a nice play. And Travis Wood with 2 quick down, and he will face the righty, or excuse me, the switch hitter, Carlos Santana. Santana against the lefty, and he strikes him out, so Travis Wood does his job, gets a clean bottom of the 7th, facing a lefty and 2 righties, and that's a way to impress the manager with some versatility for Travis Wood. So he sits him down in order, and we move to the top of the 8th. It is a 7-3 ball game. Ryan Madsen will continue against Russell, Pollock, and Lindor. Madsen came in last inning and got Kiermaier to bounce out. And here he is against Addison Russell, who hits this one hard out to left field. Will it be enough to get up and out? No, it won't. It'll die out there, and that will be a fly ball to left field for the out. So he gave it a ride, but the new left fielder, Preston Tucker, is able to track it down at the wall. And Ryan Madsen gives him a little hat tip, and he pitches to A.J. Pollock here. And A.J. Pollock bounces one to second. That's going to have to be a clean play and a strong throw from Prado, and it is both of those things. And there's 2 down. And now Francisco Lindor, excuse me, I just knocked my mic. Sorry about that. Francisco Lindor hits one. Oh, wait, that's the catcher's X card. So the catcher is Caleb Joseph, who's a 2-range catcher. So a 218. So Lindor pops one up straight back behind the catcher towards the backstop, but plenty of room for Caleb Joseph, and that will be the 3rd out. So Madsen, 4 up, 4 down in his appearance so far, and the top of the 8th is over. It's a 7-4 or 7-3 ball game. Travis Wood did his job, and now the call to the bullpen again. It will be Yimi Garcia here in the 8th. So we'll tally his numbers up. So Wood went 1 inning clean, struck out a batter. And here will be Yimi Garcia to face Joseph Hernandez and Preston Tucker. And Joseph now, he's 0 for 3, struggling at the plate today. And not this time. He gets a hold of this one. Will it be enough? A 1-11. It'll be a homer. It is. Caleb Joseph leads off the bottom of the 8th with a homer. Greets the new pitcher, Yimi Garcia, with a blast. And Caleb Joseph brings this to a 7-4 ball game. So Kansas City, they've struggled all season, but they're not going away here. It's 7-4 in the bottom of the 8th after Caleb Joseph just sends one out of here. And now Kike Hernandez hits one to the shortstop. And we know Francisco Lindor is a 1-range shortstop. A 1.8 is going to go to his error rating, though. He's already given up an error today. And not this time. He makes a nice diving stop. And he's going to have plenty of time with a strong arm to get the out at first. So nobody getting fooled by Yimi Garcia here in the bottom of the 8th. And it will be Preston Tucker, who walked his first time up, which was his last time up. And this could be a single. It's, just barely a diving grab by Addison Russell. Addison Russell, you'll see that on the highlight reel. Make a diving stop and took a hit away from Preston Tucker. And now it'll be J.B. Shuck who's 2 for 3 today with a couple of RBIs as well. And the lefty bounces one to Lindor again. Lindor, a 1-range shortstop, a 116. That one's going to be a little bit of an easier play. Making it from the outfield grass is Lindor. And after the leadoff homer, Yimi Garcia turns things around and gets the next 3 batters in order. And it's a 7-4 ball game. So Matson, who has gone clean in his 4 innings, or excuse me, 4 batters, he's not going to make his way out there. They're going to go and get a lefty. And it will be how about Kevin Segrist will be the new pitcher, the lefty, coming out of the bullpen for Kansas City to try and keep this thing right where it is to get to the bottom of the 9th. So Kevin Segrist, and we'll close the book on Madden. He went 1 1/3. He gave up no hits, no runs. Did he strike out anybody? No, he didn't. And he didn't walk anybody. So 1 1/3 clean innings. And now Kevin Segrist will face Hosmer, Dietrich, and Ben Zobrist. So against the lefty Hosmer here, it's a 1-5, and Hosmer, oh, this one looks good. Could it be his first homer on the season? And it is not. It's going to be a double. Hosmer almost had it. Probably thought he did have his first homer of the season, but it just won't fly far enough for him. But he leads off the top of the 9th with a double. And now Derek Dietrich, who's 0 for 3 with a walk today, he will be pinch hit for. This will be Ryan Rayburn pinch hitting for Derek Dietrich. The righty, Ryan Rayburn, has been known to hit lefties pretty well. So they're going to him instead of Matt Holliday off the bench. And Ryan Rayburn with a man out at second. And he hits one out to right field. But that is going to be J.B. Shuck. He makes the play and makes the strong throw to the cutoff man. And Hosmer not able to tag up. And Ben Zobrist, the switch hitting third baseman, he's 1 for 4 today. And against the lefty, he flips around on the right-hand side, and he hits this one up through the middle. And that's going to be enough. Hosmer rounds third, gets the signal to come home, and he's going to score without a throw. Zobrist drives home a run, and the lefty, Kevin Segrist, can't keep it where it was. Zobrist drives home his second run of the day, and it's an 8-4 ball game. So now the left-handed hitting catcher, Miguel Montero, who's had a homer and a double and 2 RBIs on the day, against the lefty, Kevin Segrist. And he hits this one out the wall. It's going to roll, and Miguel Montero, he is a catcher. He doesn't run well, but he's going to be at second with a double. Zobrist, we'll see if he gets the signal to come home and score. Zobrist is a 1-14 runner. They were holding him. So a 1-14 minus 1, a 1-13. That was hit out to center field, which is Hernandez. He's a 0 arm. So 1-13 that Zobrist would score. They're not going to send him. Zobrist gets the stop sign. He pulls up at third, Now with with one out, Jake Marisnik will face the lefty Kevin Segrist, who blows his opportunity here, and the manager probably wishes he would have stuck with Ryan Madsen there. So they're going to have to go get Kevin Segrist, who was very ineffective in his time out there. And they're going to get Tanner Scheppers. So Tanner Scheppers will face Jake Marisnik after Segrist goes a third of an inning. He gave up 3 hits. Still responsible for some guys out there. And it will be the righty, Tanner Scheppers. So it's a 8-4 ball game here. Texas stretching the lead out here in the top of the 9th. And Scheppers will face Jake Marisnik, who's 2 for 4 on the day. And this is a walk to Marisnik. So Scheppers doesn't help himself out here, but he loads the bases now for the lefty Kevin Kiermaier. So Scheppers with some work to do. They're going to keep the infield back. Well, they want to keep it at 1. Well, no, they got to get 2 outs here. They're keeping the infield back to try and get a double play. And that's just what they'll do. This one's hit over to Prado. Prado to Andrews. Andrews over to first to Gonzalez. It's a 4-6-3 double play. And just what the doctor ordered to get him out of the inning. Scheppers cleans up the mess that Segrist left behind. They do score a run, and it's an 8-4 ball game. Scheppers, though, gets a big double play there. And will they go to the closer? No. They're going to let Yimi Garcia continue here. And maybe let's take a look at the bullpen here. Yeah, they're gonna continue with Garcia. So it's not a save situation, but with the top of the order here, they're gonna stick with Garcia. If anything goes wrong, they've got the closer Grimm warming up. So bottom of the 9th here, Kansas City down to their last 3 outs to try and get a little bit closer out of the basement. And this is Elvis Andrews. He hits this one over to third. That is the third baseman, Zobrist. Zobrist is a 4-range third baseman. This is the first time we've had to check his stats. That's going to go to his E rating. He's an E37 at third base, and that's an 8. And so Elvis Andrews is going to reach on an error from the third baseman, Ben Zobrist. So Zobrist made the diving stop, but knowing that Andrews has got some speed, rushed the throw and threw it over the head of the first baseman, Hosmer. Didn't go into the camera well or out into the stands, so only 1 base, but Elvis Andrews now stands at first, and Martin Prado will bat here against Yimi Garcia. And this one's hit out to right field, and this will be an easy play for Kiermaier, and there will be 1 out. So the lefty Adrian Gonzalez now looking for a big swing here just to put a dent in that lead. Kansas City needs any kind of help. They are struggling, and this one's hit out to left field. He tried a little too hard, but was behind it, and it will go out to left field, and Marisnik makes the play. And they're down to their final out. The Kansas City Kingdras send Adrian Beltre up to the plate to face Yimi Garcia. And Beltre bounces this one harmlessly over to third. Zobrist cautiously makes the play and the throw over to first, and this will end the ball game. So Kansas City tried to keep up and keep pace with Texas, but they fall short. You don't want to go toe-to-toe with Texas's offense. They tried to do it. The pitching didn't help, and they lose this one 8-4. Yimi Garcia goes the final 2 innings, giving up a run, but closes the door, and Texas moves to 9-4 on the season, keeping pace with Boston for that top spot in the AL. And this one's a final. Texas wins 8-4. I'm going to go through some of these stats here real quick to finish up totaling it. Yimi Garcia went 2 innings, gave up 1 hit, 1 run, 1 earned run. Didn't strike out anybody. Didn't walk anybody. So the win goes to Scott Feldman. No save. Garcia did come in a save situation. It was 6 to... Oh, maybe it was. Hold on. It was 7-3 when Garcia came in. So it wasn't a save situation. Kevin Segras gave up a run. It was earned. Sheppers went 2/3 of an inning. No hits. No earned runs. He didn't strike out anybody, and he got a big double play to get out of it. So the loss goes to Shoemaker. And I believe that's his 3rd loss on the season. Scott Feldman moves to 2-1. And Matt Shoemaker goes to 0-3. This was an 8-4 ball game. 2 errors for the visiting Texas squad. None for Kansas City. How many hits did everybody end up with? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. 14 hits for Texas and scored 8 runs. Kansas City, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 hits for Kansas City. And so this one is a final. I just want to say thank you guys. I know it's been a while since I had streamed, and my plan is to stream every day. If I had my way, I would do it. I love playing these games, and I love doing it. And for a while, I mean, I play these games every night, and so I've been in the groove of doing that. And I was like, well, I might as well stream all these games for you guys too. And we did that for a while, and now, as I mentioned before, if you're just tuning in, my wife, her shift changed at work, and so now in the evenings, I'm on dad duty, so I can't really get back here until after the kids go to sleep. And with my older one being off of school this week from Christmas vacation, and they got an extra week at the beginning of the year. So he's been staying up way too late. We've been playing video games and hanging out, and we're back to school mode tomorrow. And so I'm hoping that even though she's working different hours now, I'm hoping that with the kids going to bed earlier because of school mode, that I'll be able to get back to my normal rotation of doing one of these games every night. So I look forward to bringing that to you here. Make sure you follow over on Twitter at RNGIDP_Strat. I will tweet if there's a game going on that night. It's usually right around in Mountain Time, the 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock hour that I will stream, and keep it posted there for those updates. And I'm going to post this scorecard and all scorecards after the game so you can get a better look and see all the particulars of what happened. But I appreciate you guys being here. Al Red Sox fan, Higher Ground Gaming. You guys are awesome, and thanks for showing up here. All of you guys that watch this after the fact, make sure you leave a like, thumbs up, leave a comment, tell me if you liked it. And I'm going to sign off for tonight. Appreciate you guys. This is Craig for the RNGIDP channel. Have a good night.